Welcome back to episode 2 of the Rebel Rundown, which we've just renamed. Today we're going to be talking to Coach Katie Webster about all things Hyrox and nutrition, and we're also going to be doing a little recap of the last couple of weeks in the gym with the CrossFit Open. So that's what we've got coming at you. We've got Hayley Adams here, Katie Webster, and I'm Ben Collins, one of your hosts.
Damn right. Alright, cool. Well, let's just chat about what's been going on in the gym. So obviously our last podcast we did just before the CrossFit Open started, and we are now 2/3 of the way through. So we've got one more workout to go. How do you think it's gone so far? I thought it was great so far. Katie?
Look, I enjoyed the first week a little more than the second week, but I'm hoping, bring it home strong on the last week with some gymnastics.
Yeah, what would you like to see? What gymnastics?
Some muscle ups will be good, but I think we're going to see maybe like a total bar or pull up, keeping it nice and simple following on from the last 2 weeks.
Yep, Ben?
Would you prefer ring or bar muscle-ups?
I think bar.
Bar?
Yeah.
I reckon ring. I want to test my rings.
Yeah, I'd like to see a ring muscle-up in there.
Yeah.
For me personally, a little bit like Katie, probably happy with week 1 results in week 2, but I think all in all, like, the workouts have been really good for the majority of people to be able to do as prescribed and get really good workouts in and be fairly straightforward for us to run as affiliates. So it's ticked a lot of boxes. For me personally, I'd much rather see like higher skill stuff and some heavier weights and things, but overall I think really, really positive.
Yeah, I think it's been
What about
awesome.
you?
Like what Ben was saying about how it's been easy to run, and they haven't been super complex workouts. Like we actually have, I think we've got close to 35 members registered. I don't know the exact number, but we probably had like 5 or 6 people register after doing the first workout because they like didn't think they'd be able to do it, and then they like the first workout they could definitely do, and then the second workout came out and they were like, oh well, I can easily do this one too. So yeah, I think next week or this week, getting close now, will be another pretty simple workout. I wouldn't be surprised if there's no muscle ups, but yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be pretty basic. Maybe some toe to bars. I was saying, yeah.
What's your prediction, Katie?
I reckon it might be complete the work in a set window, moving into the next window, and it might be total bar, wall ball, and box jump over.
You reckon no repeat?
Nah, no repeat.
Ooh.
Mixing it up.
No thrusters.
I've got an idea actually. Yep. Maybe they're not going to do a repeat in the Open and they'll repeat some workout in the quarterfinals.
It's totally possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be. I'm not sure. I do think it's going to be a repeat, and I think it's going to be one of those ones like what Katie mentioned. I can't remember the exact one. There's probably 2 that come to mind. There's one that's like thrusters, toe to bar, then a heavier thruster, then a pull up, then a heavier thruster, then bar muscle up, and then there's another one that was like front squats, and I think you mentioned it.
Yeah, 22.3.
And I think it was toe to bar, pull up,
and
bar muscle up as well. So I think that's what I'm leaning to, but who knows? We're going to find out pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm excited. Should be fun. We've been having a good time. By the way, if anyone was wondering, I did win the Friday Night Lights competition.
Oh yeah, everyone was really wondering that.
They probably were, I don't know. Maybe.
Hopefully something comes up where you don't win week 3 and
it doesn't matter.
someone else can have some time in the limelight.
Maybe. Maybe they'll do the max strict handstand push-up test. Who knows?
That'd be great.
Ben will love that.
Yeah. Hayley's doing very well, guys, just so you know.
No.
She's second in the world. And
well, it could have changed by now.
It could have changed by now. But last time we checked, after the score submission deadline, she was sitting 102nd in the world.
Wow.
She was ahead of several games athletes, including Laura Horvath.
And Hayley Adams, that's more important.
Yeah, the other Hayley Adams, who was about 100 places behind. And I think she's sitting 14th in Oceania, so she's doing really, really well, and the highest she's ever placed so far. So she's got to finish off really strong now, and then realistically, it's all going to be about the quarters for her.
Yeah. And Webby, you excited for the quarters?
Yes.
Yep. That's it?
Yeah. Well, we got to get through the last week of the Open first, so and then we can get excited for the quarters.
Fair enough.
Look too far ahead.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on. So the reason we're really doing this podcast with Katie is to discuss Hyrox and her training around that, her experience around that. So let's unpack it, Katie. What is Hyrox and how would you describe it?
So Hyrox is a worldwide fitness race that came to Australia for the first year last year. So it was hosted in Melbourne and Sydney for the first time. So it's pretty much 8 individual 1K efforts of running, and then in between each of those 1K efforts, you complete a movement or a station. So the efforts include 1,000 metres on the ski, you've got a 50 metre sled push, a 50 metre sled pull, 80 metres of burpee broad jumps, 1,000 metre effort on the row, 200 metre farmer carry, and 100 metres lunges with sandbag on your back, and then finishing off with 100 wall balls.
Sounds like
so it's
fun.
basically a long CrossFit workout.
Yeah. Smashed up, couple of CrossFit workouts packed in together over, anything from 50 to like an hour and a half, depending upon how quick you can get through all that work.
Yeah.
How long did it take you last year?
We were just under an hour 9 to get it done.
Right.
So
Yeah,
cool.
Happy with that. Our goal was under an hour 10, so we just snuck in. So
yeah. And
happy.
you did the pairs division. There's like a bunch of divisions,
Yeah.
isn't there?
Yeah.
How does the pairs work?
So with the pairs work, you both complete the runs together. So you got to stick together because you got to pass around and come back in both with your same timing chip. And then you can split the work or the movements however you like. So it doesn't have to be 50-50, but most people tend to kind of keep it, relatively even. So a little bit of rest in there, a little bit of work, very similar to like CrossFit partner workouts where you get
So if I did it with Hayley, we could run together and then she could just do all the station or I rest.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably keep pace with her on the run.
And then that's fun. We should do that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, sign us up.
No minimum work requirement.
Really?
That's great.
Not on the
You can
movements,
do. I reckon you could probably do some of it.
What? No, that's not the deal. 8K running is enough for me. I'm not an endurance athlete.
So then there's also you can do it individual, right, where you do the whole thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's 3 different main categories. So you can complete it individually, where obviously you do all the work yourself, in pairs or a double, which I just mentioned, how you can complete the run together, breaking up each of the individual movements. Otherwise, there is also an option for a relay, which is 4 people. So in that relay, you complete 2Ks of the running or 2 efforts of the run, and then you'll complete 2 stations. But you'll do that in one block. So you'll do your run, you'll do your station, run, station, and then that's your effort done. And then the next teammate jumps on in and goes through.
Yeah.
So which is also a really fun way to do for people that are a little bit hesitant with that amount of volume of running. So it's a really cool way to bring in, you can do teams of 4 ladies, men, or even they have mixed relays as well. So they're really catering for everyone and all like varying, fitness abilities and levels there.
Yeah. Sounds fun. I don't know. I like the sound of it.
Good challenge.
Yeah. What do you think the best sort of thing is about Hyrox? So not necessarily like the best station or anything, but just like overall.
Overall, I think it's just like that different challenge. Like CrossFit comes with obviously its own different challenges, but like I'll do like the longer style of a workout, and it's quite that sense of achievement when you're crossing the finish line to be able to then know that completed 8Ks of running, completed all those 8 stations, and then I do love a pairs workout or a team workout, so that's right up my alley there. So definitely why I was opted for it, and just a new challenge to kind of challenge yourself and your fitness in different ways instead of just testing it the same ways all the time with CrossFit. So branching out a little bit.
And like, what got you to sign up in the first place? Like, how did it come about? How did you find out about it?
I think I just seen it advertised online, and then said to Amy, I was like, oh, we should give it a try. We'll just like ummed and ahed on it a little bit, kind of looked in on it, and it's like, oh well, why not? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? So we just thought, we got signed up and didn't really do a whole heap or put a whole heap of effort and thought into it going in. Didn't really have much expectation around it. Just was like, we'll just give it a go and kind of see, because it was very new, obviously first year in Australia last year, so didn't know a whole heap about it. So we went in a little bit blind, but wasn't a bad thing in the end.
And then you made
so
the finals.
The World Championships.
World champs.
So what is that? If you guys didn't know, Katie actually is going to the World Champs for Hyrox. So she's a little bit of an expert, I would say, or a professional nearly. Well, you have to get paid to do that.
Yeah, look, they don't pay me. I'm still paying them.
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro. So what did you have to do to qualify? And then where's the World Champs? Who's going to be there?
Yeah, so with the qualification, so obviously everyone that raced in Melbourne, out of each category, they had listed how many people go through, obviously depending upon how many people had registered. So ours was one of the bigger categories in the women's doubles. I think there was 247 women's doubles pairs in our category.
In Melbourne?
Yep, in Melbourne. Yep, that was just the age group of 30 to 39 as well, so it obviously goes up to 29, 30.
There was 200 pairs in the 30 to 39s.
Yeah. So it's a really popular age group. So they took the top
Crazy.
4 through. So yeah, we finished 4th in our age group, and we actually finished 8th overall out of those 247. So yeah, we managed to get our 4th spot just to hang in there and head on over. So yeah, this year, we didn't actually know at the time, you just known that you'd qualified, and they announced that it's in Nice in France, so which is pretty cool. So it's kind of like, oh well, we might as well go over. Don't know if we'll be able to claim we've gone to world champs for anything else. So we thought we might jump on it, and then make a bit of a holiday after it, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's cool.
When is it?
We're competing on June 9th this year.
That's my sister's birthday.
It's my
There you
dad's
go.
birthday.
Whoa, that's kind of
So,
crazy.
Good time of year to get out of the southern hemisphere as
Yeah,
well.
go
and
to summer.
enjoy some warmer weather. So you've timed that well.
Yeah.
Cool. Long story short, Hyrox is absolutely cleaning up.
Making a lot of money.
They must have like thousands of people obviously doing each event in each state.
Well, it goes over
So,
it goes.
247 times 2 for one category.
And how did they run it? So because obviously on this thing I wrote down all the category because there's 6 categories on Saturday, 6 on Sunday. Do you have a set time that you start? It's not like a mass start.
Yeah, no. So they we were released in our heat, which I can't even remember how many were in our heat. Say there might have been up to 30 or 40 pairs in our heat that got let out, and then every 10 out of the gates we were ready to
cows.
go. Yeah.
Release the beast.
Yeah, you pretty much. If you ever watch the start of it, you wait in the tunnel and they're got
Really?
the big music pumping, and then everyone's there ready to go.
Oh my god! I thought it would be like an interval
It's pretty
race.
cool.
With
So
skiing, we
does
used to do
get a bit intense in there. While
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
waiting,
they make you
people
wait in there for
stop on
10
the
minutes.
ground.
I think every 10 minutes they
Yeah,
let
right.
the next heat go. So there's always people out running, so there's people running from previous,
Yeah, so you
heats
can
coming
catch
through.
up.
Yeah,
Stuff,
but it's because at least then the first 10 minutes, it kind of allows mostly the first K run to be done and the first effort on the ski, so you're never really running into the heat in front of you. So it flows really well. We didn't have any issues. Obviously, gets a bit of congestion on the floor just with that many people
So
running.
you got a burpee, broad jump around people.
Got to kind of dodge in and out
Yeah.
dodge in and out of people a little bit. They do.
But you'd get to the station, there'd be 10 setups or something.
Oh,
right?
there's 40 or 50 ski ergs, and it's huge. Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, okay. That's crazy. That's insane. I think that's another cool thing about Hyrox though, is that so many people do it and it's the exact same everywhere.
Yeah.
The ones, everywhere are the exact same length, same. Do they use the same floors so that the sleds push the same?
I think
or?
so, but the thing is, obviously, depending upon the venue where it's hosted, how many laps you have to run around to complete your 1K effort.
Oh, yeah.
So we did it at the Melbourne Showgrounds last year, and we had to run 3 laps. So you have to go out there, out gate, and then you run around 3 times, and then you head on in the in gate. So got to be paying a little bit of attention to kind of know where you're at a little bit.
Yeah.
But then on the last one, the wall ball, the 7th or 8th station, didn't actually fit in that station, so we had to run outside a little detour into the next tent to
Yeah,
complete
right.
the wall ball. So
right.
that was obviously a little bit of a longer effort at the end, but some venues, I think this year it's at the convention centre, and they only have to run 2 laps on the outside, so it's obviously just a bigger setup where you can clock up the 500, which less round makes it a little bit nicer.
Did you run inside or outside?
Inside?
Yeah, we were talking about this. Ben's nah, the run's outside. I'm like, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Just on the outside of
assumed.
the inside the venue, but just around the outside, the perimeter.
It just feels like if you're gonna do a K, it's
May as well run outside.
Yeah, you make it the easiest loop possible.
Yeah.
But anyway.
No. Yeah, right.
I guess that's good if it's pissing down rain.
Yeah. All right. Well.
So.
Oh yeah.
I guess now too, obviously after you qualified, because you mentioned that you didn't really prepare for it or anything, you just kind of chucked your hat in the ring, had a go, did really well. But since then, I know you've been training a lot more specifically for it. So what's your training looking like now?
Yeah, so we've decided since we're heading to World Champs, we probably should knuckle down a little bit, do a little bit more Hyrox specific training. We're following a program from Hunter. So he's one of the guys that's won and broke plenty of world records that does Hyrox. So following along his stuff. But heaps more volume. We've been accumulating a lot more run volume. adding in some strength work and then just working through different kind of domains of all the movements. So just working them in different ways and different kind of challenging aspects. So teaming it with running and then coming into like, sled work or, ski efforts into burpee broad jumps and stuff like that. So a lot of compromise stuff, a lot of longer style, lower intensity running, like building up a base, like we've done anything from 60, 75, 90, 2-hour runs to complete, and just like at a lower level intensity, just because you've got to get used to the duration that you're going to be moving on the day. So which is anything from, that roughly that hour mark to an hour and a half for most people. So yeah, preparing your bodies a little bit more for that.
Yeah.
You also did a mile test though, and you did that pretty damn quick.
Yeah, so a little bit of speed work in there, but which is, been lots of cool little achievements along the way. Like, I think that's another part of it, being able to achieve, running things that I've never thought I'd do or never thought I'd want to do. And then getting them ticked off in the process, which was, been really cool as well.
Yeah. And you're still doing CrossFit. That's obviously doing a little less than what you were.
Yep.
But what are you doing, like 3-4 CrossFit workouts a week still? Like,
yeah, like I suppose there's still like CrossFit aspects of that in his training as well. But try and get a couple of CrossFit in, like, following the program in here, and then also adding in the additional stuff, that I've got programmed to do as well. That'll lead into this Hyrox stuff as well.
Yeah, cool. And it's going well.
Yeah, look, some days feels like it's a bit of a challenge to try and get it all in and find enough hours in the day to get in, those longer 70 or 90-minute efforts on the run or the bike ride and stuff. But just kind of fitting it in and making it work as best we can.
Do you always run around the track? Is that just training your brain for running around the same loop? I could not do that.
Not always the track. Just
the other day, she ran like 14k around the track, didn't you?
Yeah, I've done. Yeah. So,
how many laps is that?
I think it was about 29 laps.
My goodness.
Yeah, I think.
I do like 2 laps, and I'm like, I gotta go to the park.
Yeah, you kind of just zone out after a while and just keep clocking up. It's more when it's for time, you kind of just like get in the headspace and just keep ticking it over. So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
At least your distance is like bang on the track.
How do you like click your watch or something every lap?
It registers that it knows you're on a track, and it tells you like down to like what lane you're in, and it'll clock up.
What sort of watch is that?
Just the Apple Watch, yeah.
Really?
So it registers that it's like, it looks like you're at the track. So you click on that and off you go, and clocks up each lap, like that takes you and breaks down the timing and stuff like that. So a lot of data around it, which is cool.
Yeah, that is sick.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, how would a beginner train for Hyrox?
So like if you're training, say you're in here doing CrossFit, that's a really good base for you to come in and jump into a Hyrox race. There's no set requirement of like fitness ability or level, like it's open to everyone. Like I mentioned, you can obviously jump in a relay in a pair, which I'd recommend for, beginners to start out. Try and just pick a program and stay with it. Don't kind of jump between and watch 100 different things and get caught up in being like, oh, this person's doing this or they're doing that, and try and, cherry pick all these bits. So just stick with something and be consistent would be my biggest thing. And definitely get some running volume in. That's definitely going to be helpful. Even if, it's only like, 5 to 10k a week in, 1 to 2 efforts, that's definitely going to help prepare you. Getting a little bit more Ks and miles in the legs is definitely going to help you on the day, versus not coming in with much running volume, because like at least 70+% of the race is running. So preparing yourself for that.
And on that, like you're actually putting together a program right now for any of the members that are going to sign up, or even if you'd just like to do some extra running and work on these kind of endurance and machines and exercises that come up in Hyrox. So that's obviously targeted not just at beginners, but like anyone who's going to do Hyrox and just wants to feel a little more prepared. What's that going to look like?
So we're aiming for like a 12-week block leading in. So I think we're about 15, 16 weeks out from the Melbourne race at the moment. So we'll be getting it kicked off early April is the plan. Alternating weeks of like some training in here, hopefully maybe on a Sunday. We'll be doing stuff that's obviously specific to Hyrox, so tying in running, whether we're doing some running intervals, whether we're doing some compromised running efforts, and then like tying it in with EMOMs of like alternating between the different movements. So obviously being prepared to know that, you're going to do an effort on the ski, then you might head out for a run, or you're back in and we're alternating it if you're doing it in a partnership, accumulating time on the machine, so alternating back and forth like you would on the day, just to kind of prepare you as much as you can what it's going to be like on race day.
Yeah, cool.
Sounds
and doing things like the sled and
yeah,
burpee broad jumps and
lunges,
all that fun
wobbles.
stuff.
Yeah, So I think it's definitely cool to get a bit of like time on the sled, especially the push and pull, just because some of the weights may be more challenging than what we've been exposed to in here on a daily basis. But everything else we cover pretty frequently in here. So ski, row, lunges, wall balls, burpees, pretty similar. A burpee broad jump versus a burpee box jump over a burpee. Like we're pretty familiar with all of those. So it's really just that sled work that is good to get a little bit more practice in.
And we have got another sled coming into the gym to help.
Did you order one today?
We'll get one this week.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
It's coming. And some long pulling ropes as well, some 15 metre ropes that'll be really good and more specific to what you guys are going to go through who are doing it. So, so again, if you're interested and you're watching this and you want to know more, hit up Katie or myself. I think it's going to cost like a little bit under $200 to do it. It's about $15 or $16 a week. So you'll have that longer 90-minute session on every second Sunday, and then there'll be like a homework running workout that you mentioned that they'll do on the alternating weeks, which can be done at the track or the park. And I think you'll have like a private Facebook group or something that you can communicate with everyone and do a bit of nutrition.
Yeah, we'll have a track set up in Sugarwood to set a few little like checkpoints that you can tick off each day and make sure you're as prepared as possible leading into the race, just so you feel like you can get the most out of it. So it'll be heaps of fun. It's really cool little challenge to add in on top of your regular training in CrossFit, and what's better than doing it with friends. So jump on in and get signed up.
Yeah.
There you go.
And on that, you do need to actually, if you want to do Hyrox, you need to sign up via the Hyrox website. So it's separate to what we will assist you like in the gym, but you do need to actually register with Hyrox. And if you're listening to this and thinking like, I want to do that, register as soon as possible, because as you know, it's like very popular, so it will sell out. Also, I've got a question, because I was looking at it. Is it $180 between the pair? Or is that $180?
Might be per person.
Well, it's got to be, surely, because the individual was like $220 total, and then the pair was like $180.
Yeah, I think it's per person. Yeah, so it's not like I think it is. That's how they list it, and then you obviously have to, as you go the pair, it'll just come up as two people.
Oh, okay, all right.
Register. Yeah.
So
what does the teams of 4 cost? Do we know that?
I can find out.
I feel like most of our members
could do
pairs. Pairs is probably ideal, and then like for some, the individual might be something that you want to shoot for.
Yep.
The teams of 4 is probably good if you just want to really dip your toe in the water, because you'll just do a part of it at the end of the day and not kind of get the whole thing under your belt.
So the costs are, just while we're here, for individual it's $220. For doubles it's $182. So I think that's per person.
Yeah.
So that's for any doubles, and then there's the relay is $135 per person.
So it's not cheap, but it does sound really cool, and it's really good for people to have things like this to work toward in their training, so that they help stay disciplined and also have a target that they can work towards and sort of help push their progression. Because when we progress, it's really positive reinforcement. We feel good about ourselves, and it helps us stay on track with our health and fitness goals. So definitely worth considering, even though it's a decent sort of price tag on there.
Yeah, cool. Well, what's your nutrition like, Katie? Now, if you guys don't know, Katie actually is also a nutrition expert. And so, she does nutrition coaching in the gym, and she also does her own nutrition, I think. So what's your nutrition like leading into Hyrox? Like, how do you feel your body, and how do you make sure you're good to train? And then also, like, how do you feel yourself on the actual day of Hyrox?
Yeah, so look, leading into the first Hyrox, I probably didn't do it super well, like pretty nervous going in, and we competed later in the afternoon, so probably just had brekkie and then a few little snacks going in, but I think then at the end of the day, adrenaline kind of got us through the race. They have a little bit of like water and fluids on the floor, but it's mostly Red Bull and something else, so it's not really what you want to be fueling yourself.
Red Bull mid race.
Yeah, Red Bull, obviously a sponsor, but that was a bit of a rude shock when you grab a quick cup of water on your way.
A quick cup of Red Bull.
Yeah, I feel like I did not want that.
No.
Just jack the heart rate a little more.
Oh my God.
But then kind of paid the price a little bit, because after the race definitely come crashing down pretty hard after it. So, but definitely now a little bit more aware, and still obviously playing with stuff day to day of trying to fine tune it as best we can leading in. just making sure, it depends a little bit what time of day you're training, but obviously getting in like, a good meal to start the day, staying nice and balanced, and then learning to fuel, having enough carbs and making sure the glycogen stores are up is definitely a big one, especially on those longer efforts like run efforts or bike or longer training days, and having some snacks and fuel along the way, even during racing or competing or even just training in general. So not something I've done a lot of in the past, haven't really needed that in CrossFit. So definitely, learning a lot about that at the same time. Hydration is really, really important as well. So that's going to be a big one, even just with your training day to day, and then also leading into the race. So making sure, you've obviously had ideally like a minimum of a litre of water before you start training. Obviously, if you're training super early, that might be a little bit challenging, and also electrolytes, like especially in these warmer weather, making sure that you're getting those electrolytes in to help rehydrate yourself or leading into it so you're hydrated, and then also on the other side, just because your volume of training is quite long and you're going to be using a lot and then sweating out a lot, so we want to make sure we're replenishing that on the other side as well.
When you say electrolytes, for like the average member, like training for this, could they just use like hydrolyte, or do you recommend them getting like a higher quality or quantity electrolyte?
Hydrolyte is a good starting point. It's better than having nothing. Also you could just look at adding a bit of sea salt to your water as well. That's a really good start if you don't have anything. There's plenty of different brands out there. I know you guys like Relight.
Yeah.
That's something out there. Limits is also another one. Sodi, there's plenty of different ones on the market. It just literally comes down to a little bit of personal preference. Some obviously have some really cool tasting flavors and stuff like that, but also just making sure they cover the main points of potassium, sodium, magnesium. We want to make sure we're getting a good balance of those across the board to get it back into the body.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on hot cross buns? Are they good workout snacks?
Yeah. All for hot cross buns or bagels, anything that's going to be pretty high in carbs if you're going to be working out for a long time.
So chocolate on chocolate hot cross buns are okay, or would you say a fruit?
Look, if chocolate works for you, go for chocolate. But
sign me up.
Yeah, Milo bars
You're
are
not
good.
eating those anyway. You're just.
I've got a hot cross bun in my lunchbox downstairs.
Chocolate one?
No, it's not chocolate.
Yeah.
But
You are training twice a day though, every day. So.
There's nothing wrong with a hot cross bun, but if you're gonna have it, you should have. Well, obviously you can have hot cross buns, but they're a really good pre-workout snack.
Yeah.
It's full of carbs.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted Katie to say.
And so you mentioned increasing carbohydrates, but do you feel like your nutrition has changed a lot since you're doing the longer endurance stuff and your training focus has changed a little bit, or has it just been fine-tuned?
I went through obviously a period of dialing it in for a 12-week period where I tried to tidy things up a little bit, drop a bit of body fat, gaining a bit of muscle mass, makes everything feel and help me perform that little bit better overall. And then it's a matter of once I kind of got to that point I was happy with, it's then just maintaining that, but also upping the probably carbohydrate side of things and making sure you are fueling and then refueling post workout to make sure that you can then, if you do need to do a double session, you feel like you've got enough in the tank to be able to go again, or you are recovering well enough to then back it up with another higher intensity session the next day. So it definitely is, it's still trial and error and playing around with what works best, but overall kind of keeping my base, breakfast, lunch, dinners in there, and then snacks, and then sometimes if we do have, those higher or longer sessions, adding in that extra to supplement that as needed.
Yeah, cool. And with, say you're working with the average person that comes to see you for nutrition coaching as well, is what they're going to do really similar? If they're doing 3 or 4 CrossFit sessions a week, what we program versus what you're doing, are there going to be big differences, or is it going to be, for the most part similar and then just a few tweaks and changes?
Yeah, for most part, it's relatively similar. Just making sure people are getting in a good balanced diet overall is going to help them perform to the best of their ability. So it's just a matter of kind of seeing what they already have day to day is normally what I like to do, get a little, bit of a 3-day diary of what their, an average day looks like for them. And then I can go back through and look at it and be cool, all right, looks like they're, they're not quite getting enough protein in, or they're getting a little bit too much carbs or not enough carbs. And then that's from where I then make the assessment and tweak it as needed to allow them to get or work towards the goals that they want to achieve, whether that's, building muscle, increasing performance, losing body fat and stuff like that. So it is going to be a little bit different person to person and obviously individualized depending on what they're after. But overall,
Yeah.
like you still follow that kind of same scope of hitting, those main goals for most people.
Yeah, cool. And what would you say is like the number one thing that you could identify with someone on average and be like, this is the thing that we need to change the most? Is there something that stands out?
Big one that I always talk to about like all my clients with would be consistency and accountability. So I think like overall just trying to hone into people that the more consistent you can be over the day, the week, the month, years, you are going to see results versus, a good day here, bad day here. Like overall, if you can get like, 4 good meals in, a day versus, 1 or 2, like overall that's going to outweigh like, the better quality meals versus the not so good quality meals is always going to trump, the not so good quality. So it's just building that base of consistency overall, and then that adds up over, days, weeks, months and stuff like that.
So discipline, effectively.
Yeah, discipline, and then that accountability is also a big one. So I guess that's why, like, I've in my past, in the past had like a coach as well. Just like having a coach coming in here helps keep us nice and accountable. So having that person that you can refer to or know that you're checking in with is also a good one to help people stay on track.
It's good. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted by Hayley yawning over here. She's
Keeping you up.
ready to have a midday nap, by the sound of it. But no, that's really cool. And like, what about, I know you've had some really good results with some of your clients. Have you got any particular success stories that really stand out?
A couple that come to mind would be Lani. So not necessarily looking at like specific body comp. She came in more for working around mindset. You guys probably both noticed that like, the changes she achieved in the gym, like her confidence just went through the roof. Like she was just, more confident in choosing, pushing herself in weights, challenging herself in workouts, hitting new numbers and like, hitting weights on barbells that she didn't think she could do, but, doing it really well or even doing it better than, expected and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So just changing little things for her, getting her in really good habits. Like she would come in, she's like, I never had breakfast. So now that's just like an easy thing that she does every day that's locked in, and that made like, a massive difference for her staying fueled throughout the day, and then getting to the end of the day, she was able to perform how she wanted to perform or even better than what she was.
Yeah,
she's crushing it.
She also we kind of bullied her, maybe Louise and Hayley kind of bullied her into signing up for the Open, and she surprised herself a little bit, finished the first workout pretty well, and the second workout was actually a really good one for her too, so she is crushing it. I'm excited for number 3. Hopefully there's some like pull-ups or something in there.
Yeah. And also, Tegan, she's also been doing really well, similar sort of thing, like tidying a few things up, and like her consistency has been like super over that, like I think we've been going for like 8 or 9 weeks now. She's done really well with some body comp changes, but even like, seeing her kicking goals in the gym, like linking toe to bars, PB, snatch, back squat, like
she has been smashing it too. And she's like, I think doing the nutrition coaching and having the accountability on that has also added like the accountability for coming in and training too. So it's not just like the nutrition side, like you've just got that person supporting you, and like she feels like she's got to come train now. Yeah, they're definitely my 2 that come to mind who've done really well, and it's really cool to be able to sit back and watch and see them grow and how much their confidence has improved in like a short amount of time by just tidying up a few little things.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, you're doing a great job with not just those 2, but in particular. If anyone wants, some nutrition guidance and coaching, then feel free to hit Katie up and get started. There's some different options with how you can do it, but as you've heard, it's real cornerstone of your health, your happiness, your performance in the gym. So if it's an area that's lacking, then it's definitely worth investing some time and energy into.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Cool. All right, just coming back to Hyrox really quickly.
Yep.
For people who might be listening to this and they're like, what should I do? Should I do it for one? Should I do it by myself? Should I do it as a pair? Should I do it for a relay? Like, what do you reckon? What are some, like, should they just commit?
Yeah, 100%. Definitely just jump on board. Like, get signed up, tick that off. We've got like 15, 16 weeks to prepare you guys. So just, get that ticked off and get yourself signed in, and you definitely won't regret it. In regards to which category you should enter, Relay is really good if you feel overwhelmed with 8Ks of running and you just feel like that's just not quite in your ballpark right now. I'd definitely jump on the relay, like 2Ks of running, 2 stations, super fun, like it's a little team environment, so it's just like in here, you're just kind of competing and helping each other out and, you know, cheering each other along, and it's a really cool environment overall.
And make sure you let us know if that's what you want to do, because we can help you find, because you need 4 people, so we can help you find team members for that. Don't feel like you've got to like find them yourself. We can definitely help you.
How many have we got signed up? We've got a sheet. I know
I think
quite a
there's
few signed up. All the
maybe
names
like
of interest
6.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
few there, yeah.
I know Stevie J and I think Mel said she might do individual.
Yeah.
Stephen and Byron are going to do as a pair. Obviously Tony, Greg.
Yeah.
I think a few people are keen to do relay, and I think we could probably rope some more people in to do it as well. So if that is something you're like, oh, I don't know, like I definitely can't. Well, you probably like I don't know if you don't reckon you could do the 8K running, but you do want to give it a go.
You can do it.
Yeah, I reckon you probably could.
Yeah.
I think, like if you do it as a pair as well, that's kind of another, like if you're feeling a little bit intimidated, doing it as a pair is good, because then you've got someone with you. Like you're running together, you've just got to stick at the pace. It's kind of just like doing a workout in here. Like we do partner workouts all the time when you run with your partner.
Yep.
You split reps 50-50. And it might just make it that little bit more fun, and then maybe next year you do it by yourself or something like that. Or if you're just going to go out for the win, do an individual. Will you ever do one individual, or you reckon you're a pair?
Nah, I think I like doubles. Like I said, I'm always in a pairs or double situation in CrossFit comps, so I think I'll stick to that. That's my sort of format. But no, I like the idea of like you complete the run together, but then you have that little bit of break in there as you're breaking up some of those movements. But look, in overall, it's not a whole heap of rest in there. Like you're still bringing that higher level of intensity. Like it's still challenging no matter what. So don't think it's a cop out by any means by doing a double or a relay. Like you're still working super hard, and it's going to be super rewarding at the end. You know, crossing that finish line is a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, sign up. Like we want to have a really good showing from our gym. It's an awesome event, and as you've got Katie here to help guide you through and set up some extra training to be well prepared. So there's no excuses. If you're free on that weekend,
Do you want to actually do it as a mixed pair?
Board. Yeah, I'm considering it.
I'd be so
I just
down.
gotta make sure I've got like enough weekends and I can fit it in.
we
But
can
if I can, I'm keen.
We should.
Yeah.
That'd be
It'll
fun.
motivate me to do some extra running, which I could definitely do with. So.
But you would have to do some of the stations.
Okay, yeah, I can do
A
like a
20-80 split.
I'll do all the burpee broad jumps.
No, it sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. Looking really forward to seeing how Katie does in the finals.
Yeah, that'll be sick.
She's definitely like crushing training at the minute, and even though she's doing a little less CrossFit than what she would typically do, she's crushing that as well. So she's on a roll. We wish her good luck. She's still got a bit of time to go to prepare.
Yeah.
But I think we'll wrap that up. Hopefully you guys learned some things about Hyrox, nutrition, got some really cool insight into Katie's training and things she's got coming up this year. We look forward to our 3rd episode, which will be coming up soon.
Yeah. And if you guys have any more, like lots of people have given me topic like suggestions, but if you have anything, like let us know. Like we're coming up with a bit of a list, and then we're sort of slotting them in as to like what works time wise, but we love to hear your suggestions. Rebel Rundown, technically I win for that, but nobody suggested that name, so there's no
Give
special
yourself a
guest for
pat on
that.
the back,
Yeah.
Hayley.
Well, actually, it was AI, so we'll give AI a pat on the back. Is that meant to be a secret? I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, keep giving us your suggestions and let us know what you think, and then we can make the podcast something that you really want to listen to.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.